everyone, it's Suzanne Docobo, CPA and Realtor. Today we are going to take a deep dive into home improvements that truly add resale value and others that don't. Whether you're looking to sell soon or you're just simply looking to put money into your current property, these are things that will help you make smarter choices. Our team sells approximately $100 million in real estate per year. Through all these sales, we have seen it all. We have seen sellers who have over-improved their property, under-improved their property, done things that they're never gonna get their money back for, or done really smart things. For example, one of the things that we do not advise our clients to do unless they're keeping the property long-term is invest in solar panels. We've had examples where sellers have invested in solar panels, taken out a loan on a home, and then went to sell the property a few years later, and that loan is still outstanding. I have never seen in my career a situation where that added enough value to the home where it was worth it to invest in those solar panels. Solar panels can be expensive, and buyers don't really see the value of the solar panels when buying the home. So that's something you want to think about. Solar panels can be great if you're keeping it for a long term, but if the property is not going to be held indefinitely, then you really want to think about that before you put that investment in. Another expense that we've seen other people do is putting in-ground pools. Over the years, pools have become increasingly more expensive to build, and it seems like you never get back the dollar for dollar value upon resale. So if you're going to put a pool in, don't do that just to sell the house. Make sure you're going to do it for your own enjoyment and your own personal pleasure. Another thing you might want to think about before installing is large Whirlpool tubs. Although they can be really cool and indulgent and maybe specific to your type of lifestyle, most buyers prefer sleek showers that are more functional for everyday use. So just be mindful of that. You're not going to get your money back on a large Whirlpool tub installation, for example. It's better to just upgrade your shower if possible. Another thing you want to think about when you're decorating is, some kind of trendy wallpaper that's really unique, or fixtures that are certain specific styles that may not be suitable for everybody. That might be something you might want to think about before installing if you're going to resell your home, or if you're not going to be keeping it for the long run, because you're probably not going to get the value back for that you're spending, and those things can be expensive. And also it might deter some buyers from having the vision of the house to call it their own when they're walking through the house. So that's just something that you're going to want to consider. Another thing that we want to mention is full bathroom remodels and full kitchen remodels. That's the type of thing you want to avoid when you're going to sell your house in the near future. You can do more moderate remodels, like changing the countertops or just doing some little aesthetic upgrades like backsplashes or things like that can really add the value, but you don't want to be doing a whole gut job on your kitchen, a whole gut job on your bathroom. You can do little things that are a little more cost effective that'll just make the property prettier and more aesthetic for buyers to see. So some of the things that we can do that are budget, cost effective, and just really can increase the value of the home is curb appeal landscaping outside the house, just sprucing it up, cleaning it up, adding flowers or certain things that can really add a value. When someone comes in, it's like a first impression. That's what they see first. Also, interior and exterior paint. If you have a dated home or an older home and it's kind of, looking like not so fresh, paint can really make a big difference, and it can also add a lot of value for resale to the home. Another thing that you can do to add value is to just improve the lighting in the home. So if you have lights that are dull or not as bright, or you need more areas to be well lit homes always show better. They also photograph better. So that's actually key when people walk through the home. You want them to feel like there's enough light and that it's light and bright. When it comes to more aged homes, you're going to want to think about things that are going to cause issues for insurance for a buyer. So for example, the roof is very important. If you have a very old roof or a damaged roof, that could cause major issues for a buyer. So you may want to consider installing a new roof. Also, same for HVAC systems. If you have something that's very old or it's not in good condition, that's something that you might want to consider either repairing or replacing. And also your water heater, that is something that's very inexpensive that you can replace and adds value. Buyers see the values in those things. They're very important structural parts of the home, and they come up on your 4-point, they come up on your insurance all the time. So those are the things that can really add value and help your home to sell and not have it just sit on the market. One of the things you might also want to think about if you have a more dated home or a more unique style home is the flooring. So flooring can cost money to replace the entire floors. So if you have wood floors, you might want to think about refurbishing them or shining them, or even doing, if you have tile, some kind of grout cleaning or deep cleaning of the floors, adding rugs. Those are kind of cost-effective things you can do. If you have a really old flooring, you might want to consider replacing it. You just have to be careful. You need to know your local market. Does it call for, is carpet okay, for example, or does it need to be LVP, or should it be tile? You know, where do you live? Ask your realtor, what are the buyers wanting in that particular neighborhood? And you don't want to overspend either. A lot of times you can also give credits at closing for changing floors and let the buyers make a decision for themselves. So there's other ways that you can do it without having to do the repairs or doing the cash out of pocket, which you might not have up front. But that is also something that's very important. People are looking at the floors, or looking at the walls, or looking at the ceilings. Obviously, something that's very important is doing minor repairs. You know, if a door doesn't close properly, you know, fix the handle, you know, get your handyman over to do a few little things, can make a big difference. Also makes the buyer feel confident that you're taking proper care of the home, which is also good psychologically when showing a house. Another thing that we see from time to time in walking through houses is multiple different types of floors in different rooms. For cohesiveness, buyers really don't like that. You don't want to do too many different types of floors in a house, depending on the size, you know, maybe different bathroom flooring, different living room flooring, and maximum bedroom flooring. But you don't want to do any more than that. A lot of times the living room flooring can track through to the bedroom flooring, and that looks great for cohesion, but you don't want to be doing different types of flooring in every single room. That just creates a look that the buyers don't like, and it's a turnoff for a lot of buyers. So make sure you're consistent and cohesive in your flooring choices. So as always, there's probably things that we just didn't think about in this video, and we would love to hear your comments. So if you have any additional comments and ideas, please comment below. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see you on the next video.